both could end up being the team that outpossesses. So I think that will be a big factor in this game. And Dartmouth's defense, in contrast to Yale, they just line up and play. They don't do a lot of things fancy. They're going to be a 3- and 4-man rush team, but they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. The unusual thing about them, as good as a defensive football team as they are, they don't create a lot of turnovers, which is very unusual for a team that really pressures and sacks the quarterback.
Well, a big story in this game could also be the wind. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the air in the direction that Seamus Florio just kicked it through the end zone. So a touchback, and Dartmouth will start at its own 25. 3-0 to start this season. As Coach mentioned, beat Penn by a field goal last weekend. And a big reason why was a 21-play, 10-minute, 30-second drive that bled nearly the entire fourth quarter clock and did not allow Penn to get the football back in that game. And Dartmouth comes out offensively. And Coach, how about this? A stunning development early in this game. It is Woods Ray, the sophomore, who's thrown one pass all season, that is lined up at quarterback for Dartmouth. His first play is going to be a throw to the outside that's incomplete. Pressure from Dylan Yang in the backfield for Yale. But, Coach, the starter for Dartmouth, Jackson Proctor, the senior's had a great season, but he's not on the field right now.
I think this will make an absolutely huge. Proctor is so poised and so experienced in the offense. And now you got a brand new guy out there. They are probably going to rely on the run game even more. They tried to just run a little play action and get him off to a good start. Yale put good pressure on him, and he didn't get off to a good start. So, and we have a penalty.
They called offensive pass interference. Ray, the sophomore out of Homewood, Alabama, again has thrown one pass this season. He's 0 for 1. Dartmouth did run from north of 200 yards last week against Penn. They've run for over 200 yards twice this season. Also did it in a blowout win against Fordham. And you would think their running backs, Q Jones, DJ Cruther, and Desmond Jackson will all be really important for them in this football game without their starting quarterback. First down and 22 officially. Q Jones on the carry. Works his way to the second level of the Yale defense, and he's brought down by Inumidun Ayo. First down and 22 officially. Huge sack in Yale's first down and 22 officially. Here, I should say, against Q Jones on the carry.
I would
Works
say
his way to the second level of the Yale defense, and he's brought down by
get a 10-yard penalty on the first play and have a new quarterback out there that's got to deal with first and 20. So this is a good start.
Second down and 15 officially here for Dartmouth. Jones, the running back, a senior out of Colorado, ran for over 100 last week. Ray to the outside. That's broken up. Well defended by the first-year Stephen Parton, who's been playing pretty much every snap for Yale in the secondary.
One of the things for fans that are interested in the style of play and everything, and last play was a great example. Dartmouth is going to move people every play. They traded the tight end. Then they brought the guy in motion. They're going to try to confuse the Yale secondary. And you're going to see that type of thing virtually every play of the game. They're trying to do something with the formation.
Third and a mile here. Dartmouth is 50% on third down this year, which is 8th in all of FCS. But 3rd and 15 into the wind. You don't have a lot of plays for that. Q Jones gets a lot of the yardage, but he's still stopped about 3 yards short of the line to gain. And it looks like Yale has gotten a quick stop to start this football game.
And you got to say that Dartmouth was smart. You know, they didn't try to press it when they got into a long yardage situation. It's a long game ahead of you. Get the quarterback, get his feet on the ground, feel comfortable being out there. And, you know, it certainly is a problem for him in terms of field position, but he at least got it back near the first down marker.
Davis Golick is the punter for Dartmouth, averaging 39.5 yards per punt this year. It's a low one for Dave Pantelis. Did not call for a fair catch, and he's able to get to about the 40-yard line. So pretty good field position for Yale to start after forcing the stop. And now we get to look at Yale's offense led by the senior quarterback Grant Jordan, who in his first full game of his career last week, Coach, was really good at the start, finished really strong, and more than anything, looked very poised in his first day in the role as Yale's starting quarterback.
I mean, he started out 9 for 10. It looked like we were going to see a record-breaking performance in his first game. He calmed down a little bit, cooled off a little bit, and then played very, very well at the end. So off to a good start.
Jordan to throw to start. Hits his man to the outside. That's Pantelis. And he's brought down very quickly by Zach Ferris, who had an interception against Fordham earlier this year for Dartmouth. That is the only turnover that Dartmouth has forced through 3 games, but they're pretty dominant defensively. Top 10 in the FCS in opponents' points per game, total defense, and passing yards allowed. So it's tough to move the football on them.
That plays a good example of Dartmouth defense. Pantelis is one of those guys that makes a lot of yards after the catch. Dartmouth player made a really solid tackle, only a 2-yard gain.
Joshua Pitzenberger gets across the 45, and it'll be 3rd and 4 coming for Yale. Pitzenberger had a great game last week, ran for 127 yards, including a 64-yard touchdown against Central Connecticut. And the 2-time All-Ivy League selection now in his junior year figures to be important today. You feel like Yale needs to run the football.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they want to possess the ball. Now, obviously, things change with a different quarterback for Dartmouth, but you still want to run your offense, be in control.
Flag flies here as Jordan overshot Chase Nenad, but it looked like Jordan Washington, the defensive back, might have grabbed the hold of Nenad's jersey.
Holding. Defense number 4. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So a free first down for Yale, and that'll move the chains. Remember how good Yale was on 3rd down early in the game last week, early in the game against Holy Cross in the Week 1 victory. That's obviously a first down via penalty, but still you're able to move the chains.
It's a big first down that you're in their territory and possessing the ball.
So first down and 10 into Dartmouth territory. Jordan keeps after the fake, tries to get the edge, and he's forced out of bounds. That was an element of Jordan's game we saw really develop as the game went along last week. I'm not sure he had a single design run in the first half. And then all of a sudden in the second half, he ran for 51 yards.
Well, I think Yale did a great job last week with a guy coming off an injury. He's only played 1 series of downs going into that game. And they just let him run the offense in the first half, did not put it all in his hands. He got some confidence, took a couple hits. He was fine. Then they started doing more things with him.
Off play action, pressure for Jordan. And he is going to throw the ball, and we'll see if he's marked out of bounds or not. They are going to mark him out before he got rid of that football, so it's a sack, and it'll set up 3rd and long for Yale here. For those that haven't heard the story yet, Jordan got to campus in 2021, basically immediately underwent Tommy John surgery, missed about a full year and a half without being able to throw. Yale head coach Tony Reno said it was a big deal when he could just throw 10 yards when he was recovering from surgery. Named the starter out of camp this year, got hurt 5 snaps into the first game, missed the rest of that contest, missed the loss to Cornell, came back last week, got the win. Hits Mason Shipp here, short of the sticks, and he's hit at right about the 35-yard line. And now a decision for Yale to make on 4th and 1.
Got to think he's going for it. It's 35-yard line. And, this is your defense just did a nice job. They're playing with a new quarterback. You got to take your shot.
So far this season, Yale is just 1 for 2 on 4th down. Opponents are 1 for 3 against Dartmouth on 4th. A yard to gain here into the wind, or with the wind, I should say, for Yale. Pitzenberger, the running back, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left of Jordan. It is Pitzenberger up the middle, and he's got enough for the first down. Was hit quickly by Darrell Porter and Josiah Green in the middle there for Dartmouth. But a good drive here for Yale to start, Coach.
2 third-down conversions in a row. We talk about possessing the ball. They're certainly possessing the ball. And a good, tough run by Pitzenberger on a short yardage situation.
Nathan Denny comes in now at running back. Second straight week that Yale has gone with this assembly of its offensive line, with Jackson St. Aubin at left tackle. Jordan over the middle, almost intercepted. Braden Mullen, the honorable mention All-Ivy linebacker from a year ago, had his hands all over that football.
And Jordan's done a nice job escaping the pressure. That's the third time that Dartmouth has pretty much put immediate pressure on him. And he stepped outside of it, bought some time, ends up with an incompletion. But definitely buying time and getting out, break and contain, doing some pretty good things early.
He's 2 for 3 through the air for 14 yards on this first drive. Nathan Denny up the middle. And tough sledding there. Third down and long coming up again for Yale. Denny carried the ball almost 30 times against Holy Cross in the season opener when Pitzenberger was out. Used a little less these last couple weeks, but still a very important player for Yale. The senior out of Georgetown, Texas, with 179 yards of total offense for the Bulldogs through the first 3 games of this season. Officially, it's 3rd and 8. Pitzenberger back in. Mason shipped the motion man.
One of the things you'll notice when Yale goes in motion, hardly anybody from Dartmouth moves because they play a very basic front and coverage. He escaped again.
Jordan, good fake, and he's got the first down. Lowers the shoulder, and I don't know if he was actually contacted or not by Jamal Cooper, but a couple nice fakes, and Yale moves the chains again.
It's been quite a drive to start the game. 3 for 3 on fourth down was one of them, but converting every first down, keep the drive going.
This drive has gone 10 plays for 29 yards, and Yale has it at the 21. Jordan looking end zone. It is incomplete. Looking for the first year, Jackson Santiago, and maybe just a tad overthrown.
Great route, just a little bit overthrown. That's just one-on-one against the corner, beat him into the corner, slightly overthrown.
Yale is giving Dartmouth a taste of its own medicine on this drive. The Big Green come into the game in the top 5 in the country in time of possession. It's a long drive for Yale here. Pitzenberger with nowhere to go, brought down immediately by Ejike Adeli, who had 6 tackles and a tackle for loss a couple weeks ago against Merrimack and had a sack last week against Penn.
I think a lot of people in the league think this Dartmouth front is probably as good across the board as anybody in the league. And this will be Yale's challenge all day long to keep that run game going. That was a great second down play, turns it into a long yardage situation. And Dartmouth lines up in the 3-man rush about probably 75% of the time. Usually they will bring an extra guy. One of the linebackers will come.
Chase Nenad makes the grab, got out of a tackle, and it's 1st and goal for Yale. So Yale has converted 3 third downs and a 4th down on this drive already. Nenad had 7 catches on the year coming in. He has 2 on this drive, and it's 1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
That was a great second effort after the catch, which got him the first down, and another big 3rd down conversion for Yale.
Denny, the running back, once again. It's a give to Denny, and he's swallowed up right away. Good penetration into the backfield by that Dartmouth D-line. Darrell Porter, the senior out of Penn Hills, Pennsylvania, was the first to him. Coach, Yale has not surrendered a lot of negative plays this season. They don't get sacked much. They don't create a lot of negative plays for themselves offensively, but Dartmouth's already created a couple of them on this drive.
Well, that's 2 in a row in the run game that they've made for 0 or -1. Yale does not want to get into the situations of having to throw the ball over and over again. The great thing so far for him is Jordan's escapability.
Start. Offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
So full start on Dave Pantelis there, and now it'll be 2nd and goal from back at the 16-yard line for Yale. This drive has gone 14 plays and 50 yards, and it's taken up more than half of the first quarter in this battle of 2 of the 3 defending Ivy League champions from last year. They both shared the title with Harvard. Pitzenberger And he gets to about the 12. Danny Cronin brought him down. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 13. Coach, how valuable do you think it is on a day like this to score when you're playing offense in this direction because you're playing with a significant headwind?
And you're using up most of the quarter with the drive. Yeah, definitely. You got to put something on the board here.
3rd and 12. And Yale jumped again. Looked like St. Aubin, the left tackle.
Ball start. Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Penalties were a little bit of an issue last week against Central. 9 of them for 71 yards. That's the second penalty of this opening drive for the Bulldogs. And that's an area Tony Reno would like to clean up a little bit.
Especially false starts. That just drives you crazy. Those are the, what I used to call the gotta calls. The officials have to call, if you go offside, you go in motion, those are gotta calls. I mean, the contact things are different, but you got to have 0 gotta calls.
On 3rd down and goal. Jordan flushed out of the pocket. Another flag is down. Throws incomplete. And we'll see, Coach, because this is in the area of holding for sure. And does Dartmouth want to back him up?
75 offense. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Because now you're getting to the point where you might be out of field goal range.
You could be knocking him out. Definitely. I mean, you'd really think about not taking this penalty,
right,
if it wasn't for the wind. But this puts it, it'd be about a 47-yarder. Where
I think even longer. See where they spot it. Sammy McCorkle, the reigning Ivy League Coach of the Year in his 2nd season as the head coach at Dartmouth. Felt like this would be a game won in the trenches. His D-line forces a penalty there. 3rd of the drive against Yale, and now it is 3rd and goal from the 27. And you just have to be smart with the football here. Jordan to throw. Completes it to Dave Pantelis, and that makes it a little bit more manageable. And there might have been a face mask at the end of that play, Coach.
It's a face mask or a horse collar, something like that. That's a 1st down. This has been an unbelievable drive. I mean, just...
Personal foul. Defense number 33. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down.
That is the 5th-year linebacker, Danny Cronin, with what can only be described as a huge mistake. 3rd and goal from the 27, and you give Yale a free 1st down, and the drive continues.
And that's as bad a penalty as you can commit.
Certainly not a guy you expect to commit it. This will be the 17th play in the opening drive of the game, and it's 1st down and 10 from the 11 now. Jordan throws. Nenad incomplete. You don't often see a drive that gets to 1st and goal and then reverts back to a 1st and 10 at any point.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm very interested here. Well, there's no sticks up. That stick is on the 11-yard line.
Yeah.
It should have been 1st and 10, correct?
The scoreboard clock does say 2nd and 10 as you see Nenad unable to hold that in.
Here they come. Now they didn't realize that it wasn't 1st and goal again.
As I said,
they
it's
can
a
get
unique
a first
situation.
Down. Right.
17 plays for, actually 18 plays now for 49 yards on this drive. Pitzenberger to the 10, no further. Good penetration again by Josiah Green, the 2nd-team All-Ivy League defensive tackle for Dartmouth. And now Yale has 3rd and 9 from the 10, so they need the 1-yard line for a 1st down.
Yeah, that's the 4th run play in a row they've stuffed. The biggest difference in this drive has been, Jordan's ability to break, contain, and extend plays and make plays off of that type of action.
Jordan on 3rd, looking for Ship. It's incomplete. And it looks like after all of that, Dartmouth is going to force a field goal attempt from Nick Conforti.
And it is absolutely essential that Yale get these 3 points. After all that, they can't come away empty.
Nick Conforti, the junior from Livingston, New Jersey, 3 for 5 on the season. And you see a long of 40 yards. This is much shorter than that, just about 27 yards. And it's a fake. Conforti is brought down, and Dartmouth surrenders a 20-play drive, but no points. What a way to start this game. 20 plays for 50 yards, but no points for the Bulldogs. Play drive, fakes a field goal on 3rd and 9, doesn't get it, and now Dartmouth has the ball back late in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's just, that was the ultimate bend but don't break. I mean, 20 plays and you come up empty.
Woods Ray gives to Q Jones. Not a lot of room there. Alvin Gully Jr., Jake Biggs in on the tackle for Yale. And it's 3rd and long coming for Dartmouth.
So far, both fronts have been very, very good against the run. Obviously, we haven't seen the new quarterback really do anything yet. We'll see. They were, 3rd and pretty long here. The difference for Yale has been their quarterback play. Neither team has been able to run against the other team's front.
Officially 3rd and 7 for Woods Ray. Paxton Scott, number 7, the leading receiver for Dartmouth. He's caught 20 balls for 232 yards already this season. He's in the top 10 in Dartmouth history in receptions and yards. And Dartmouth needs to take a timeout here.
Dartmouth.
Ahead of 3rd down and 7. And we will take the break with them. 3:04 to go, first quarter, scoreless game here in New Haven.
Minutes direct your attention to
And Woods Ray playing because of a coach's decision at quarterback here instead of Jackson Proctor. Has a big 3rd down coming up. 7 yards to get. Dartmouth 0 for 1 on 3rd down today. 50% on the season, but again, that's with a different quarterback. So kind of all the stats get thrown out now. Ray taking a shot for one of his tight ends there that is juggled. And we'll see what the ruling is. They'll say, did Chris Corbo catch this or not? Incomplete.
I'm sure we're going to get a replay on that one.
Looked like he came down out of bounds.
ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. 4th down.
So you ask, why does Yale fake a field goal, coach? And the answer is because even if you don't get it, if you get a 3 and out, you'll get good field position, and that's what's happened.
Punting for Dartmouth. 1
Davis Golick to punt once again. Play clock's already down to 10. Dave Pantelis back to return for Yale. A high snap through the back of the end zone. A safety, 2-0 Yale on top. This game gets more and more odd here in the first quarter.
We're watching a very strange game right now.
Who had
Illegal motion on the offense. That penalty is declined. Safety.
All right, so it's a legal motion on Dartmouth. Yale declines it, and it's a safety on a snap through the back of the end zone. Don't think many had 2-0 with 2:56 to go in the first quarter. That's what we got in this matchup of defending champions. Well, the first points of this game come on this. A high snap from Andy Bellis over the head of Davis Golick, the Dartmouth punter. And a safety gives Yale a 2-0 lead in the first quarter, Coach.
We've already had one Ivy game decided by that type of snap, that Harvard Brown in the opener, and now we got another one in this one. It could be a major factor in this football game as the game goes on. That 2 points is going to be huge in the way the scoring goes in this game.
Well, Tony Reno has pretty much seen it all in his 12 seasons as the head coach here in New Haven. 4 Ivy League championships, 69-44 overall record. But I think even if we asked him right now, he would describe the start to this game as very odd.
There's no question about that. This has been, Yale totally dominated, had a great drive, came up empty. Dartmouth has had penalties, procedures, really hasn't moved the ball at all, and gives away 2 points.
A fair catch called for as Matisse Weaver kicks this out of bounds. And, boy, the start to this game is getting worse and worse for Dartmouth.
This is going to be great field position for Yale. They still got the win for 3 minutes, so they got plenty of time to do whatever they want to do. I do think the wind is going to be a big factor. There's obviously a factor on that kick, but it's going to be a factor in the pass game.
First down.
And Dartmouth obviously did nothing in the first quarter with the new quarterback in there throwing the football. But Yale's got 3 minutes here and a 2-0 lead, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they go at it here.
Now they get the ball at midfield because that was a free kick after a safety, not a kickoff. So field position fantastic, obviously. And Grant Jordan back out there, 4 for 8 for 30 yards on the opening drive, also ran for 7. Trey Peterson is the running back now, the senior out of Georgia. He gets the carry and breaks free. Longest run of the season for Peterson. He's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Little change of pace from Yale, put in the smaller, quicker guy, and he got some room. And, those first half a dozen runs with Denny and Pitzenbergers were really stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And that was a great run, big play, and they're getting into scoring position immediately.
Peterson had 3 runs for -4 yards coming into today on the season. That one was a big one. This one not quite as large, just 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. So 16 yards on the first 2 carries for Peterson as Yale is moving the football here with just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Coming off that 23-22 win last week against Central Connecticut. Luke Foster with the game-winning touchdown reception with 8:15 left. First career catch there for the senior tight end. Jordan on the rollout, and his intended receiver, Pantelis, slipped. And now it's 3rd down.
Dartmouth is already doing a lot of substitution on defense. Obviously, the defense was out there a long time in that first drive. They just substituted 3 defensive linemen into the game for the last play, bringing in a couple other guys. So I think they're getting concerned already about time of possession and number of plays that Yale is running.
And that's usually what they do to their opponents.
That's what they want to do. It's what both teams want to do in this game. So right now, Yale's winning that battle.
3rd and 8. Quick throw caught by Santiago. It'll be 4th and short, probably another spot where Yale goes for it, but a tremendous hands catch by the first year from California.
Dartmouth brought a little extra pressure there, did not get to him. Jordan got it out, and a nice throw and a great catch by the young receiver.
5th catch of the season for Santiago. 4th down and 2 for Yale, already 1 for 1 on 4th down today.
We've seen a lot of high-pressure plays early in this game.
No doubt about it. Pitzenberger wrapped up and dropped, and Dartmouth gets the turnover on downs.
Ball carried by 7.
He had no chance. That was immediate penetration. They were hitting him in the backfield. Just a great defensive play by Dartmouth.
Ejike Adele was the first one to wrap him up. The senior from Atlanta. And as frankly bad as this game has started for Dartmouth, Coach, they're about to get the ball back, the wind in their favor, only trailing by 2 points.
And it's 2-0. And Dartmouth, I think, is minus yardage at this point, and especially with the penalties. If you add those in there, they're definitely minus yardage.
They've run the ball 5 times for 7 yards, and Ray is 0 for 2 throwing. Woods Ray on the wheel route, incomplete for Paxton Scott. Paxton Scott had 10 catches last week for 75 yards and a touchdown against Penn. Caught 6 balls for 121 yards against Fordham.
Ran a nice route, got himself open. Ball was overthrown.
Woods Ray getting the start today for Dartmouth. The sophomore quarterback has never completed a pass. His first today will be his first. Ray to throw again. There is that first completion to Chris Corbo. 9 yards on that play for Dartmouth. Tackle was made by Osize Danian for Yale. And it'll be 3rd and 1. And Danian slow coming off the field with that right arm kind of dragon, coach. The sophomore who was a first-year All-American last year.
Yeah, Corbo's a tough guy. He's a tight end type guy that they play out at wide out. He does a lot of things for him. Kind of the extra offensive lineman at times. But he's a very good receiver, and he's very physical.
Empty backfield on 3rd down and 1. Now Jones motions in. Ray off the fake. Incomplete. Good pressure by the middle linebacker, Jacob Biggs for Yale. And Dartmouth has 4th and 1 on its own 39. And we'll have to punt here, still going into the wind.
A lot of things I don't like about that play, and that's one of them. The fact that it was an incomplete pass, they didn't get out of the quarter. There's only 14 seconds left. They ran the ball. At least they're punting with the wind.
It's an odd call to throw with a backup quarterback, too. Better snap for Golick this time. Not a bad punt as Pantelis makes the fair catch inside his own 25. And Yale will take over with 9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Certainly an interesting one where Yale has 2 points off a safety despite possessing the ball for almost 11 minutes so far.
I mean, Yale's had, couple opportunities, 3 opportunities, and to only be ahead 2-0 after the way they dominated that quarter is pretty tough. But Dartmouth right now has not gotten untracked on the offensive side of it at all. Now their defense really seems to have, after that first drive, really seems to have come on and given them a lot of pressure. But I'll tell you what, Jordan's doing a great job getting it off, keeping himself out of trouble.
This is Santiago here, so it'll be 2nd down with 4 seconds to go. Actually, it was Pantelis who he was looking for. Jordan is 5 for 10 through the air for 37 yards. Senior quarterback from New Orleans. Played well against Central last week. Maybe another step up in weight class today against this Dartmouth defense that gives up just 14.7 points per game. Off the play fake, short throw and catch. And that'll end the first quarter as Pantelis picks up maybe 4. And Yale will now be going into the wind for a 3rd down coming up. 2-0 Yale after 1 quarter. For about 18 seasons. And now leading this Dartmouth program. Has to be somewhat happy, I guess, with the way that first quarter ended. 3rd quarter, or 2nd down, and a long throw for Joey Felton is caught. He is loose, and it's a touchdown.
Well, so much for throwing into the wind or with the wind. First play into the wind, we end up with the biggest play of the game.
Joey Felton, the senior from Frederick, Maryland, a 71-yard touchdown. And that's a massive way to start the second quarter.
Great throw, right on the money, right in stride. Obviously a great route, just took off and beat him. Showed great speed.
Nick Conforti on for the extra point. Longest completion of Jordan's career. And Conforti stamps it to make it 9-0.
And right away, that 2-0 lead, it now becomes a 2-score game. That 2 points is going to haunt Dartmouth for this entire football game in terms of how this game is going to go and where they're going to be as the game goes on.
Third career receiving touchdown there for Joey Felton. And that Yale sideline has to be amped up the way this game has started. What's interesting about both these teams, Coach, is last year they actually both started Ivy League play fairly poorly, lost their opening games, and were able to close the season strong and be part of that three-way tie for the Ivy League championship. It was the first time forever that there was a share of a title between two lost teams, but that's the way it ended up. Today, though, feels like a very important game for Yale after dropping its Ivy League opener to Cornell.
Well, I mean, obviously you can't go to 0-2, and you'd love to come out of the weekend with already 4 of the teams in the league being 1-1. And, looking at another year like last year.
The only unbeaten teams in the Ivy League right now are Dartmouth and Brown. Brown is playing a non-conference game today against URI, so if Yale wins this game, then Brown's the only team left without a loss in conference play. Florio's kick is a short one into the wind, and Dartmouth trying to set up good field position here. It'll be at about the 26-yard line after the return from Grayson O'Bara, the junior from Argyle, Texas. It's got to be a good moment there for Joey Felton, who's battled some really awful injuries in his career. Thought at times he'd never be able to play again. And he makes a massive play for Yale there.
I remember last year when he finally got himself back on the field, how emotional he was about it, coming off of the injuries and how, all the rehab and everything he had to go through to get himself back on the field. Always great to become a contributor.
First play of this drive for Dartmouth is a give and nothing doing for Desmond Jackson. Loses a couple yards. The Yale captain, Dean Schaefer, the first to the ball. And right now, Coach, Dartmouth is down 9 points and has no momentum offensively.
And they're, the fact that they're playing their second quarterback is being, the problem with that is being compounded by the fact they can't run the football, which they've been really good at all season long. We said before the game started, the run games are going to be very, very important for both teams. And so far, the defenses have shut down the run pretty well.
Little pop pass here, and Yale able to limit the gain. That was 19 O'Bara, and it'll be 3rd and long again for Dartmouth. They're 0 for 2 on 3rd down today. Maybe a yard on that, what they'll call a completion. Ray is now 2 for 6 for 9 yards in the game. Third down and 9 officially. Feels like a 3rd down that Dartmouth kind of needs to just put together a little bit of a drive. Ray to throw over the middle. It's high and nearly intercepted. A flag flies very late, though, in the secondary. And I wonder if this is going to give Dartmouth a free first down.
I think he got grabbed.
See, Daquan Gonzalez was in there, as was number 3 for Yale, Sean Guyton.
Pass interference. Number 3 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So it is on Guyton, and Dartmouth moves the chains for the first time in this football game. Now, worth noting for Yale, we still do not see Osise Danian out there, who left a couple drives back with what looked like a shoulder. So we'll see if Yale can get him back. Q Jones dancing in the backfield, and Ainumadan Ayo Dorojaye throws him down for no gain. Dartmouth in this game is averaging 1.4 yards per play. And they've been outpossessed by almost 8 minutes.
I mean, they've just had no production from anything that they've tried to do.
The D tackles for Yale, Alvin Gully Jr. and Ijero, Iguodabare have been very good. Dartmouth's able to break one here, though, and they move the chains once again.
Quarterback team.
That was Grayson Saunier who's come in the game at quarterback for Dartmouth. He's been used as a run threat this year. 3 carries for 44 yards and a 31-yard touchdown against Fordham. We have not seen him throw the ball, but this is a little different look for Sammy McCorkle.
And this is one way of getting the run game, get the extra blocker, have the quarterback running with the football. This has been the personality of Dartmouth for years, but I don't think they feel that this guy throws it enough to make a difference over the long run. But he's had 2 good run plays in a row.
Dartmouth has really not had an individual starting quarterback in almost a decade. That was the case with Jackson Proctor prior to today. But Proctor did not start this game. Woods-Ray did. And now it's Saunier in there. Got 8 yards on that second carry. Saunier this time gives it off, and it's a first down for Desmond Jackson. He did not play in Dartmouth's first 2 games this year, but ran for 98 yards on 14 carries last week in the win against the Penn Quakers.
Last week, both backs for Dartmouth were very, very productive. We're seeing a lot of this read option here. It's opened up the run game a little bit, 3 plays in a row. Yale's going to have to make a couple of adjustments.
Saunier once again, nothing doing this time. 3 Yale tacklers stop him in his tracks. First one there was Nathaniel Campbell, the senior linebacker.
You're definitely going to see more Yale defenders closer to the line of scrimmage until this guy proves that he can throw the football. I mean, that's 4 run plays in a row since he's been in the game. They've moved the football, but do they really have a complete offense with him at quarterback? We're yet to find out.
8th play of the drive coming for the Big Green. Saunier to throw. That's incomplete. Good coverage there by Jacob Biggs, the linebacker for Yale. And it's 3rd down and 10. They get good yardage here. Could be 4-down territory. Dartmouth also has a great kicker in Owen Zalk, and they're going with the wind here.
I mean, right now it's a 49-yard field goal. He's made a 50, so very good chance you're going to see him out there with the wind.
And it looks like Tony Reno has taken a timeout for Yale.
First timeout of the half, 30-second timeout.
3rd down and long coming for Dartmouth. Yale ahead, 9-0 in the second quarter. 9-0. It's a 3rd down and 10 for Dartmouth on the Yale 32. It is still Saunier in at quarterback, who has been in there this entire drive for the Big Green. He'll throw. It's caught for a first down and a lot more. Chris Corbo to the end zone. Touchdown, Dartmouth. A missed tackle in the secondary, and Chris Corbo has his 3rd receiving touchdown of the year.
They talked about Corbo a little bit earlier about how physical he is, and and he can play wide out as well as be inside at tight end and H-back. And he just made a guy miss and turned it into a big play. It wasn't a play that looked like it was going to be much in the beginning.
Owen Zalk, the place kicker for Dartmouth, was a freshman All-American last year. He's 9 for 9 on extra points this season. A huge 3rd down turns into a big 32-yard touchdown reception for Chris Corbo, and Dartmouth's back in this game. Minutes of this game, but with Saunier in at quarterback, Dartmouth develops some rhythm offensively.
And Yale really needs to establish something here. I mean, this game it's a 2-point game. I mean, the safety is it. That's the difference. And you feel like Yale has been totally in control of the game, totally dominating everything. But it's 2 points. The one thing they have not been able to do is run the ball well. And they're going to get that reestablished and get this offense on the move again.
Tony Reno always says that in the Ivy League, you have to be ready to win the game on your last snap, whether that's offensively or defensively. And you wonder if we have another one of those nail biters on our hands today, like last week in a non-conference game where Yale beat Central Connecticut State by 1 point. Dartmouth last week beat Penn by 3 points at home. Grant Jordan's last throw was a 71-yard touchdown to Joey Felton. Here it's a handoff for Pitzenberger, and Yale has no momentum running the football right now. Darrell Porter got Pitzenberger in the backfield.
I mean, that's about the third or fourth time that he's been hit in the backfield before he can even get started. I mean, I don't care what kind of running back you are. You have no chance when that happens to you.
Right around the All-Ivy League right tackle, Michael Bennett there. Loss of 3 on the play. Jordan hits Rye Yates, his tight end, and he barrels ahead for a first down. Just the third catch of the season for the senior out of Vienna, Virginia.
That was a rare coverage mistake by Dartmouth there. That was absolutely uncovered, and Yale recognized it and made a great play.
Jordan is already up over 120 yards passing in this game. He threw for 180 last week. Off the play fake. Jordan, another big shot. He's got a man. David Pantelis. Touchdown, Bulldogs. It's big plays galore for Yale this afternoon.
This is so out of character for the Dartmouth defense to give up 2 huge pass plays in a row, 2 drives in a row for 2 scores for Yale. You just don't see this happen to Dartmouth. So it's amazing that Yale has not been able to run the football and has scored on big plays.
Nick Conforti on for the extra point, and Yale responds to the Dartmouth touchdown with one of their own. Conforti puts it through. And Yale's lead is restored to 9. And, Coach, let's not lose sight of the fact that both of these massive plays in the pass game have been with Yale playing directly into the wind.
Exactly. I mean, we talked about the wind and, what a factor it was. And he's thrown, and not just the fact that he's thrown them with the wind. They're long balls into the wind. These were not, catch it short and run 70 yards or something. These were 2 long balls down the field, right on the receiver. Both receivers obviously ran great routes, got themselves wide open, made it for an easy throw, but still, you got to make that throw and you got to make that catch and the run after. So just pretty amazing against a Dartmouth defense that just does not do those kind of things.
A 71-yard touchdown to Joey Felton. That was a 62-yard touchdown to Dave Pantelis. And the Yale Bowl is alive in this battle between 2 of the 3 defending Ivy League champions. Yale's won 2 in a row, trying to win 3 in a row this year for the first time for this program since the late 70s into the early 80s. Grant Jordan in this first half, Coach, 9 for 15, 191 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Seamus Florio will have to reset the ball on the tee. O'Bara and Desmond Jackson back to return for Dartmouth. O'Bara from his own 7. Some room up the middle, but he's tripped up and dropped short of the 25-yard line. So good kick coverage for Yale there. And, Coach, I think we'd all expect Saunier to come back in there at quarterback for this drive for Dartmouth. They quite obviously moved the ball much better with him in there.
I mean, he provided a spark. And any time you get into quarterback run game, it gives you an extra blocker. When the quarterback has got the ball in his hands and he's running with it, you get the extra guy. And defensively, that challenges you to put another person in the front, makes you a little susceptible to the play action type stuff. The throw that he made for the touchdown was only a 5-yard throw, but still, he got it out there and they made a play in the pass game.
It is Saunier here on the move, completes it, but nothing much doing for Paxton Scott. Good open field tackle for Yale there by Stephen Parton once again.
We're a quarter and a half into this game, and I think that's the first time we've called Scott's name, and he's one of their big impact players that's really been taken out of the game because of the style of play without the starting quarterback.
On second down, Q Jones couldn't get away from the initial tackler, Dean Schaefer, and it will be third down and long. Osise Danian is back in there for Yale. They're starting strong safety, which is good to see.
He also has done so far a great job with all of Dartmouth's little adjustments, trading the tight ends, moving guys around, going in motion. They haven't had any issues with the formations. They've kept their leverage, and they've done a great job against the run game.
Third down and 6. Saunier flushed out of the pocket. He can certainly run for it. Saunier has the first down and a big burst. He took a huge hit from Abu Kamara there, but a big first down for Dartmouth. Abu Kamara leads the country in solo tackles per game. You can see why here. But Saunier once again able to move the sticks for the Big Green.
Saunier, he showed some speed there. Not only the escapability, but he showed good speed down the field, but he took a big hit. Here's your double trade into an unbalanced look.
Pistol set here. And it looks like Dartmouth moved a little quickly.
I'll start 79 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's one of the things with changing quarterbacks and having another quarterback, a little bit different cadence. That definitely had to do with the snap count. They shifted, got themselves into an unbalanced look, and then the right side of the line moved early.
It was called on the right tackle, Konstantin Sperk, the senior from Germany, but really it could have gone against a couple guys. So back to 1st and 15 for the Big Green, chasing 9 with under 7 to go in the second. Q Jones gets the carry, and a couple yards there on first down. Sean Guyton was the first to him. Q Jones was honorable mention All Ivy League last year. Ran for 572 yards, had 108 more in the pass catching game. In his career, he's accounted for more than 1,500 all-purpose yards at Dartmouth. Senior out of Fountain, Colorado. Now it's Jackson, the running back, sent into the slot. Saunier steps up. Gets out of 1 tackle, but not 2. Zach Holland, the senior linebacker, says no, sir.
He pulled that down really quick and took off. Didn't give the pass much of a chance to develop.
3rd and 12. Dartmouth 2 for 4 on third down today. Already converted 1 on this drive. Saunier in trouble. Again, flush to his right. Takes the shot, and it's broken up. Josh Tarver, who had a huge interception last week for Yale, breaks that pass up, and Dartmouth has to punt.
Punting. For Dartmouth. 1, Davis Golick. Back for Yale, 10. David Pantelis.
David Pantelis back to return this punt from Davis Golick. He drops the snap, and Golick tries to throw it. It was almost intercepted. It'll go down as an incomplete pass. So the ball will go to where the line of scrimmage was there, Coach, but Dartmouth is having some trouble on the snap to punter exchange today. Yale up 9 and getting the ball back. Spot, and Yale takes over at the Dartmouth 32-yard line. And, Coach, it's a chance, obviously, to take a commanding lead in this game.
I mean, great field position. Score would be huge here for Yale. Dartmouth obviously having struggles on offense.
Jordan to throw. Pulls it down, lost the ball, and just steps out of bounds for a negative play, but a fortunate bounce there for Yale. Watch this ball just bounce right back to Jordan.
Pretty good fortune.
They lose 4 yards, but it could have been worse. Jordan is 9 of 15 through the air for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns so far today. 2 massive plays of 62 yards and 71 yards in the pass game. Pitzenberger in motion. They swing it out to him. Pitzenberger breaks the first tackle, lowers the boom, and sets up a 3rd and manageable. So that's something Yale can do, Coach, to have an easy completion, get Pitzenberger the ball. It's kind of an extension of the run game because the conventional run game has not been productive yet.
Tackle to tackle, there hasn't been much.
It's 3rd down and 7. The Bulldogs are 3 for 6 on 3rd down today. Pitzenberger with Jordan in the backfield. Grant Jordan steps up. Jordan trying to run for it, and he lost the football. A flag is down. Dartmouth picks it up, and they lose it. And falling on it is one of Yale's offensive linemen, Sean Sullivan. And we're going to have a lot to sort out here.
There's a flag on the play.
Even the PA announcer's laughing.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, did Dartmouth have possession? If they did, then this is 1st down for Yale. Depending on the penalty also.
I mean, this was insane. I think Jordan had the 1st down, not that that's relevant based on what happened after. Forced fumble. Dartmouth definitely has possession. Pantelis knocks it out. Sullivan falls on it. So that should be, if the penalty's not against Yale, potentially a 1st down and 10 for Yale, all the way back around the 45. It doesn't seem like they're planning on announcing anything to us, so maybe they've picked up the flag, and it's what we thought, Coach. So it'll be 1st down for Yale all the way back at the 49-yard line, but as they say, I guess it could be worse.
I mean, you know, they got 4 minutes left. They got 2 timeouts. You're just starting another drive. That's what you're doing. You're just starting 20 yards further away than after that bad snap.
Jordan for Pitzenberger. A lot of room on the outside. Gets around 1 tackle. Pitzenberger 1st down and more. 2nd catch on this drive for Josh Pitzenberger, who did not have a catch this year before that drive.
Basically, they're back where they started from.
Career high in passing yards for Grant Jordan now, up over 200 in the game. Jordan under pressure. Jordan directing traffic, got a man. It's Rye Yates down inside the 10. That had the look of a play of Nolan Grooms, who used to do things just like that for Yale.
That's got to be the 5th or 6th time that Jordan has escaped to the short side of the field. No contain to the quarterback. Buys time. I don't care how good you are in the secondary. You can't keep covering them that long. Guys are going to come open.
Pitzenberger on 1st and goal, nowhere to go.
Carried by
hit by Josiah Green. And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 8. And Yale does not have to run a play before the 2-minute timeout if they don't want to. Well, we talked prior to the game about Dartmouth being a team that doesn't really do anything explosive, but they don't make mistakes. And today they've done nothing but make mistakes. Yale has taken advantage. And they have a 2nd and goal coming up with 2 minutes left in the first half, leading by 9 points. What a game this has been so far. Passing, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a chance to improve on it here. 2nd and goal from the 9. Jordan, Pitzenberger's open. Pitzenberger to the goal line, and he stopped at the 1. That little pass to Josh Pitzenberger in the flat has been effective 3 times on this drive, coach, as Dartmouth takes a timeout.
Yeah, well, Dartmouth knew that Pittsburgh had never had a catch, so they just said, hey, we're not going to cover them. And Yale's thrown it to them 3 times in a row for pretty good plays.
With what Dartmouth had done defensively through its first 3 games this year, the number of wide open receivers we've seen in this first half is borderline shocking.
And the thing is, they're not playing man-to-man. I mean, usually when you lose guys, it's because you're in man-to-man, they moved around, it's a back out of the backfield, somebody got picked off. What they're doing is they're playing zone, and they're running off and just leaving areas of the field absolutely uncovered. And it's basically the flat and, being able to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, which is the equivalent of throwing the ball into the flat. And there's nobody there. It's been pretty easy. The 2 balls down the field are a whole different story.
Jordan keeps it on 3rd and goal. Gets to the pylon, and he's in. Touchdown, Grant Jordan. So the drop snap on the punt comes back to bite Dartmouth. And Grant Jordan has his 3rd touchdown of the day and his 2nd on the year with his legs. Nick Conforti, 2 for 2 today on the extra points. And he's perfect on the season, 11 out of 11. First year starting kicker for Yale. 23-7 with 1:44 to go in the first half. And Grant Jordan once again shows what he can do with his legs.
At this point, you would say that Dartmouth has probably given up more points in the half than they really thought they would give up in the entire game. This is going to be tough sledding for them in terms of their offensive production, what they have done so far with the backup quarterbacks alternating and doing different things. They've certainly had a little more success with Saunier, but you're not going to come back, with a lot of scores playing that style of offense. And Yale's already got 23, so it's not like they're going to stand still the rest of the game. So I think Dartmouth's got a tough road ahead of them if they can't get some things going here offensively.
Now, in fairness, that drive started at the 32-yard line, but then there was that whole crazy fumble situation, got pushed all the way back towards midfield. So at the end of the day, it's a 7-play, 32-yard drive, and Jordan has the touchdown, and Yale with a 16-point lead over their rivals from Hanover. And as Coach mentioned earlier, a Yale win today really tightens up the Ivy League. A Dartmouth win, and they would end the day as the only 2-0 team. O'Bara back to return. Takes it from his 5. Grayson O'Bara trying to find some room. O'Bara still on his feet. A good return here. Nathaniel Campbell finally stops him at the 31-yard line. That was about a 26-yard return, Coach, but I think he probably ran 70 yards.
And you're talking 131 left. It'll be interesting to see. In a normal situation, you say, hey, Dartmouth's got, enough time and timeout and that kind of thing to get something going. But the style of offense they're running right now, they really can't score in a minute and 31 seconds. They're going to have to come out of their character to get something going here.
Again, without their starting quarterback today, Jackson Proctor. Grayson Saunier still in there. Sophomore from Lafayette, Louisiana. It was Woods Ray that started the game. Quick throw to the outside is incomplete. And they have been unable to really get Paxton Scott involved today, a guy who has caught nearly 2,000 yards of passes in his Dartmouth career.
I'll tell you the other thing you don't want to do is give the ball back to Yale with 2 timeouts. So they're in a tough spot right here.
Dartmouth with just the one left. Saunier for Jones. This is a good play. Gets him all the way across midfield. Jackson out of a tackle. And Desmond Jackson is all the way inside the Yale 30. That goes down as a completion and the biggest play of the game for Dartmouth.
Forced out of bounds by 12. Thompson.
So now Dartmouth is well within Owen Zalk's field goal range.
Without question. This has been a strange football game the whole way. And that was another very unusual play. A little 3-yard flip forward, and it's a plus 40 play, and you're in scoring position.
Empty backfield for Saunier. Quick throw is tipped and caught for about 2 yards. Another weird play. Christian Benson, the senior running back, makes the catch. Dartmouth going no huddle with the clock running. Saunier to throw, steps up and takes off. Saunier inside the 15, and he has the first down. That'll stop the clock for a moment. Still one timeout to work with for Sammy McCorkle here. And a player is down for Yale right at the 10-yard line.
That's a break for Dartmouth.
It's Alvin
Give
Gully
them a
Jr., the
timeout.
All-Ivy League defensive tackle. Another look at that little deflection that created a 2-yard completion. We have not even gotten to halftime, and Coach, I'd say we've seen a dozen things in this game we didn't expect to see today.
Dozen things that are very uncharacteristic of these teams. I mean, Dartmouth definitely over the years one of the most disciplined, mistake-free, involved in so many low-scoring games over the years, and coming out with 3-point wins like they did last week, and several Ivy titles. And today it's just been a myriad of mistakes, and the 2 bad snaps, and just some very unusual, odd plays have happened in this game. And Yale, as much as you feel like they're kind of totally in control of the game, they've just given up enough big ones to let Dartmouth hang around. I mean, if Dartmouth scores a touchdown here, it's hard to believe where this game might be at halftime.
It's been since 2016 or 2018, I should say, that either Yale or Dartmouth haven't had a piece of the Ivy League championship. Last year, both schools shared the title with Harvard, and this year, both among the league's favorites. So out of the injury timeout, it's Saunier in the gun, clock running to 45 seconds. Saunier flushed out of the pocket, and he's sacked. It is Kevin Jourdain. Dartmouth has to use a timeout as
Dartmouth.
Jourdain has his first sack of the season.
30-second timeout.
And again, inexperienced quarterback giving up a pretty big play right there. That they're still in field goal range, but now it's going to be a long one. And it's just been one of those games. There's just been so many mistakes when it looked like, hey, we're going to win halftime 23-7. Then they make a big play. Then they come right back and have a bad play go against them. And it's just been a very erratic first half for Dartmouth.
First sack of the day for Yale. Second down and 23. They need to get to the 4-yard line for a first down. Now out of timeouts. Quick throw to the outside. And stepping out of bounds there is Painter Richards Baker, the senior from Hillsborough, North Carolina. Just his third catch of the year there. And now Dartmouth with a third down, 35 seconds to go.
And that has to make them feel a lot better about the field goal attempt. I mean, definitely, you're with the wind. You're definitely within excellent range now. And just got to be careful with the clock and the play call here.
3rd and 17. Saunier. Thinking about taking off. Throws complete. And that is right at the first down marker for Paxton Scott. And they're stopping the clock here with a spike.
He might have just spiked it on 4th down. Did he?
They never indicated first down on the field. And I guess now they did say it was a first down, so now it's second down. But a great play for Saunier to find Scott. And now it's second down and goal from the 4. There was certainly no indication of first down from any of the officials there.
There wasn't any indication that showed. Saunier definitely knew. I mean, he went right up, made the right play.
Tony Reno runs out on the field and takes a timeout.
Second timeout of the half, 30-second timeout.
I mean, usually the official just points first down, and that didn't happen there. But as you said, Saunier knew, or at least felt like he knew it was a first down, went up and spiked it, and now Dartmouth went from looking like they had a great chance to score the touchdown to looking like it was going to have to be a field goal to now having another great chance at scoring a touchdown. One more look at it.
I mean, they got 24 seconds. They got 2 plays that they can throw into the end zone. And obviously, Saunier is a big threat out on the corner, out on the edge with his legs. We're going to see a very exciting end of the half.
Second and goal at the 4. Saunier has thrown for 102 yards in this half. Scott the man in motion. Grayson Saunier under pressure, and that's incomplete. Inubidan Ayo Dorojaye with the pressure.
Yeah, a little wild with the throw. I mean, Dartmouth came up, did the motion back and forth, saw that Yale was in man-to-man, tried to hit the slant, just missed on it.
You would imagine with a field goal potentially making this a 2-possession game, this is not a 4-down situation for Dartmouth, but we'll see. Grayson Saunier on the slant route. It's broken up. Alvin Gully Jr. got his mitts on that football, and it's 4th down. Looked like that play was there for Daniel Houghton, who was running the slant, but Gully got his hands on it, and the offense stayed on the field for a long time for Dartmouth, but now the field goal unit's coming out there. And we'll get our first look at an Owen Zalk field goal attempt. First team All-Ivy League and freshman All-American last year with a Dartmouth record. 17
timeout.
made field goals.
Third and final timeout.
Tony Reno will take his last time out before this field goal attempt that'll be just about 21 yards, a chip shot for a kicker of Zalk's capabilities.
And Zalk has been a huge factor in the Dartmouth success over the last 2 years. He's probably won 3 football games for him at the end of the game, and has had a couple of long ones that have put games away for him. And it's a huge weapon when you got a guy with that kind of ability. I mean, he's 6 for 7 so far this year. what you just said. He was, first team All-Ivy last year, and he's a guy you got for 2 more years. So that's a nice weapon to have.
You mentioned him winning games late. He kicked a field goal to beat Merrimack in the final seconds in week 2 of this season. So a 21-yarder to make this a 2-possession game. Out of the hold of Woods Ray. A tough snap, and he missed it. Boy, oh boy, the long snapping today for Dartmouth has just been catastrophic. It's cost them a safety, it's cost them field position, and now it cost them 3 more points, and that one was really more the hold than the snap, Coach.
Yeah, he mishandled. I thought that's what happened because you saw Zelk stop and then start again. They mishandled the snap. That's 3 snap plays that they've had that have been a disaster for them in this game. And it's cost them 5 points and a possession.
And not to belabor the point, but it's just so unusual to see Dartmouth do the things it has today. You would expect Yale to just take a knee here. Both teams are out of timeouts, and Yale would take a 16-point lead into halftime. Grant Jordan threw for 240 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. Ran for 1 by himself as well. And Yale is all over. The way they've struggled offensively in this game, you wonder if they could even get to 23 points today.
I would say that's the big issue. I mean, Saunier has definitely upped their production. I mean, they did some things. They didn't do anything in the first quarter, until he really got in there. But are you capable of, and again, is Yale going to stand still at 23? So it's going to be a tough road for Dartmouth.
Yale also obviously gets the football first to start the second half, as Matisse Weaver will put this back on the tee. A lot of weird stuff, obviously, in the first half. Dartmouth with a field goal that got blocked because of a mishandled snap. 2 bad snaps on punts that led directly to a safety, and then gave Yale great field position for a drive in which they scored a touchdown. So that's all stuff that Sammy McCorkle's team needs to clean up if they want to come back from 16 points down at halftime here at Yale. Tell you what, Coach, though, Grant Jordan was good last week against Central Connecticut. Grant Jordan has been great today.
He's shown tremendous escapability and being able to extend plays. He is broken contain time and time again against Dartmouth's front and bought more time. And Yale's done a couple things they haven't done much of, throwing the ball to the back. Pitzenberger out of the backfield has had 3 catches for some pretty good yards and big plays. So a little bit of a variety, a little bit of different things out of the quarterback.
They'll run it with Pitzenberger to start the second half, and he pushes forward for 8 yards. Good strong run there by Pitzenberger. Micah Green eventually brought him down, the linebacker for Dartmouth. Yale didn't run the ball all that well in the first half. 21 carries for 37 yards, but that's a good chunk play on first down.
I was just going to say, that's the first real inside tough run play they've had. And, 8-yard gain, you can do anything you want on second down.
Jordan off the play fake. Jordan has plenty of room to run. He has the first down and steps out of bounds. And that will move the chains. Remember, Yale's first drive of this game was 20 plays, and they didn't even score. So to end up with 23 in the first half against Dartmouth when it started that way is hard to imagine.
Yeah, and that play right there is an example, again, of breaking to contain, extending the play, making the play that time with his legs for a big play, but he's also made completions off of those types of moves.
Quick throw to the outside. Nenad hauls it in. And Chase Nenad has his 3rd grab of this game. Second down and just about 6 for Yale coming. Jordan completed his passes at just over 50% last week. He's at 68% so far today. Out of the pistol, it's Pitzenberger, nowhere to go. A loss of a yard or 2 on that play. And Braden Mullen had something extra to say to Josh Pitzenberger there.
Dartmouth loaded up the front on that one. There was nowhere to go.
Yale was 4 for 8 on third down in the first half. Also converted on one of its 3 fourth down tries. Came into today 47% on this down this year. Jordan over the middle, got a man, Nenad. He dives forward, and he's going to be marked short. Couldn't quite hold his feet here, Coach.
Good quick throw. Got it out. He had some pressure.
And it looks like Tony Reno is going to punt. So Dartmouth gets the stop it needs to begin the second half, and Seamus Florio will punt into the wind. And we'll see what kind of field position Dartmouth can get for itself. Sean Williams, the junior, back to return. A low boot toward the sideline. And that's pretty good considering the wind from Florio.
Yale is one of the areas that they have excelled compared to Dartmouth is in the special teams, just kicking the football. Low kicks into the wind, get enough, keep that field position where you want it to be. Dartmouth has made the mistakes that have put them in a hole. So far, that part of the game has gone in Yale's favor.
So Grayson Saunier back out there to start the second half at quarterback for Dartmouth. If you weren't with us at the start, Jackson Proctor, who's been great this year as the Dartmouth starter, we're told coach's decision not playing. He's dressed in a red baseball cap on the sideline, but obviously not out there. Saunier in the pistol set. He can move himself, and so can this guy, Q Jones. A big chunk play on first down of 6 yards. Saunier in that first half, Coach, 6 for 11, 102 yards and a touchdown through the air. 2 of the completions he had were on little pop passes, one of them being for 41 yards, but he certainly moved the offense better than Ray did when he started the game at quarterback.
Yeah, Dartmouth on that first down play, one unbalanced. They're still, doing all the things that they want to do to get Yale off balance. But I'll tell you, Yale has done a really good job adjusting to all these unbalanced looks, motion looks, crazy formations that Dartmouth gets into. And so far have done a really good job with that stuff.
Just 160 total yards for Dartmouth so far. 3rd and 2. A give, and Q Jones broke out of the first tackle in the backfield, but he's got nowhere to go. No idea how he got out of that first tackle, but he was harassed by a number of blue jerseys, led by Ijiro Egodabare for the tackle for loss.
Yale ran a little inside game there with the defensive tackle and the linebacker. Linebacker became totally free. Popped him in the backfield.
Davis Golick to punt again. Don't forget these snaps have been a problem today. This one's good. And Golick gets away a low boot. Pantelis trying to find some room. He does and gets to midfield. Steps out of bounds. Good return by David Pantelis. And Yale will have great field position to start its second drive. 113-0. That was a tough day for Dartmouth.
I would guess.
Second drive of the half for Yale. Good field position to start it right at midfield. Jordan slings it out, and Chase Nenad has his 3rd catch already in this half.
Excellent protection. Nice route, nice throw. Pretty good execution.
7 different Yale receivers have caught balls today from Jordan. It's only his 2nd time playing a full game, so all of his stats are career highs. We don't really have to say it. Nate Denny gets the handoff, and he's brought down in the backfield by the shoestrings. Braden Mullen, the senior linebacker, got him. That linebacker group, all seniors, Mullen, Cronin, Green, fantastic for Dartmouth. A big reason why they came into the day 5th in FCS in scoring defense. 2nd down and 12. Jordan for Denny. This one is incomplete.
Pass intended for
A little bit of a misfire there. He had him again back out of the backfield. Had a pretty wide open Denny coming out of there and just overthrown.
It's really the first poor throw we've seen all day from Jordan. So 3rd down and 12 at the 42-yard line. Yale is against the wind here, so really not even close to field goal range.
Oh, that might be important.
Quick throw. It is caught by Mason Ship, and that should set up a chance to go for it on 4th down, as Ship has his 2nd catch of the game. Coach, that felt like a call on 3rd down to set up going for it on 4th.
Without a doubt. I mean, you don't want to be punting from where you are. You know you can't kick the field goal into the wind at 50 yards. So they got a good chunk back and put themselves into a manageable down here.
Yale's 1 for 3 on 4th down today. One of those was a failed fake field goal back in the 1st quarter. Pitsenberger's the running back. 2 receivers on each side. Jordan takes off up the middle, has the 1st down, and slides down. We'll see if that's a late hit or not. Was certainly close from Josiah Green. No flag out, though.
Dartmouth came unusual for them with heavy pressure. Both linebackers coming, the front coming, and Jordan made a play with his feet. I mean, he just made the decision immediately that he wasn't going to be able to get it off, pulled it down, broke the line of scrimmage, and made a big enough play to get the 1st down.
It's a great replay by our crew, and I think it's worth saying, if that's not a late hit, I don't know what is. Pantelis makes the grab on 1st down, and he stepped out of bounds at the 17-yard line. I mean, not only was that late, it was also to his helmet. It's hard to imagine how that wasn't called.
And he was in a semi-slide.
Yeah.
So, had a lot of combination of factors there.
Grant Jordan in full control of this offense right now. It'll be actually a 1st down they gave him at the 17. Jordan for Ship. That's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Danny Cronin, the 5th-year linebacker, broke it up. He just looks like a linebacker, doesn't he, with that old-time neck roll?
Yeah, the Dartmouth front has not had their way today. I mean, they've been very good against the run, I mean, overall. And obviously Yale's big plays, but the biggest factor, Jordan he's just made plays over and over with his feet and escapability.
Into the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. 2nd of the day for David Pantelis. And Grant Jordan is dicing up the Dartmouth defense.
That was a great throw and catch. Absolutely great job. Great route. Clean pocket. Great route. Great throw and catch.
3rd touchdown through the air. 4th of the day in total for Jordan. And Conforti makes it 30-7 Yale. What a performance so far today for the Bulldogs. Getting some motivation on the sideline. And Grant Jordan has now thrown for 296 and 3 touchdowns in this game, trying to become the first quarterback since Aiden Sayin last September for Penn to throw for 300 against Dartmouth in a game. Kickoff return brings it out to the 25 for Dartmouth. Grayson O'Bara again on the return. And now the hole is even larger for the Big Green here, Coach. And look, it would be unfair to not continue to bring up the fact that Dartmouth is playing without its starting quarterback today. But there's also no getting around the fact that Yale has played a fantastic football game.
Yale has played great, and Dartmouth has uncharacteristically played very poorly. Just so many things have gone wrong. It's way more than not having their quarterback.
Saunier back in there in the pistol. Off the play fake. Throws over the middle, has a man, Paxton Scott for a first down. Scott has been quiet today by his standards. That's his third catch. He's nearly to 40 yards receiving, but this is a guy who normally is catching balls 6 or 7, maybe even 8 to 10 times a game. He had 10 catches last week against Penn. Saunier gives this one to Q Jones, and Abu Kamara brings him down after 7 yards.
Couple pretty good plays to start the drive. First real throw down the field we've seen from Sion and
Saunier has a man wide open. Daniel Houghton down to the 1. Really the first coverage bust we've seen all day for Yale. And Dartmouth picks up 42 yards.
that is the first bust. And, we've said that that's been a problem for Yale in these first games. It seemed to have been a problem they had solved until that play. Now that was just a bust. He was wide open.
So now first and goal at the 1. Saunier in the backfield all by himself. Nearly mishandled the snap, and he is hit, but he's in. Touchdown, Saunier, and Dartmouth answers right back. Good physical run for Saunier, his second rushing touchdown of the season. Also threw for a touchdown earlier today. And an extra point here from Zalk would bring it back to a 2-possession game. But it looks like Dartmouth might go for 2 here. They will definitely go for 2 here. Saunier in the gun with Q Jones.
All right, this is the new analytics thing. You're down 2 scores, you go for 2 after the first one.
Tamatoa McDonough has him wrapped up. Saunier, it's intercepted. Alvin Gully Jr. denies the 2-point try, and Dartmouth remains 3 possessions down. Tremendous pressure. Tamatoa McDonough the first in there. And Alvin Gully Jr. won't get credited with an interception because it's a 2-point try, but he'll remember it as one. And Coach, you're right. It's all kind of off the chart now what you do, but it's sort of hard to understand why you wouldn't just take the extra point and make it a 2-possession game.
I know what the I don't really agree with this at all, but what it is you're saying you're going to make it 30-15. So you're now down two more 2-pointers win the game for you as opposed to tying. But like you just said, now they're down 3 scores. They didn't get it. If they had kicked the extra point, now you're down 2 touchdowns, 2 2-pointers to tie it. And this new analytics stuff never plays for the tie in terms of, obviously there's overtime. Well, there are no ties anymore. But the analytics part of it itself doesn't go for the tie.
It only factors in taking leads.
I don't know if I agree with it, to be honest with you, but that's what the chart says, I guess.
Now, you said it right away. The safety would haunt Dartmouth the whole game. You take away those 2 points, and it is a 2-possession game.
Exactly, yeah. That's the other thing about this. We are not in the traditional scoring sequence because of those 2 points. And that's affected the game all the way through.
Trey Peterson in at running back for Yale here. Joey Felton and Jackson Santiago, the 2 receivers to the right of Jordan for Yale. Jordan throws quickly to Mason Shipp, and he just continues to distribute the ball, A, accurately, and B, all over the place to his weapons today.
he's shown a lot of things today that, he's definitely developed more over the week. He had a great week of practice, probably, coming off a good performance last week. But he's throwing the ball on time. When he can't throw it on time, he showed escapability.
It's the same exact play to Ship. And it's a Yale first down.
Like when he converted that fourth down on the last series, that was one of those quick throws, but Dartmouth came with a blitz, tight coverage, couldn't make the throw. He immediately made the decision to run with it. He's shown a lot of growth in a week.
Jordan to throw to the outside. It's a high one for Pantelis and incomplete. And again, it's not just that he's 20 for 29 for 307 yards and 4 total touchdowns today. He has all those numbers against one of the best defenses in the country.
Correct. That's pretty impressive.
There have been a lot of great quarterbacks here at Yale. Any one of them would have taken the day that Grant Jordan is having against Dartmouth today. Flushed out of the pocket on second down, just has to heave it out of bounds, but a smart play there. 3rd and 10 coming.
Yep. Good decision. He had nothing. But again, he got out of there, extended the play with his feet.
It's been all pass plays on this drive so far for Yale. Bulldogs have thrown for 307 and only run for 52 today. And Jordan accounts for 21 of those 52 on the ground. Steps up here on 3rd down, has an open Ship, and we'll see if it's a catch or not. Incomplete is the call. Bounced into him.
Pass intended for 1, Ship.
And this looks like a huge stop for Dartmouth, Coach.
This is interesting. They're all staying out there on 4th and 10.
Well, there's no way you go for it here. So I don't know if Tony Reno is hoping for a review on that last call. Play clock is running down to 10, so he's going to have to take a timeout if he doesn't get a review. Or they can... Well, the play clock is reset, and now they will put the punting unit out there. So I guess nobody upstairs thought it was worth reviewing. And Dartmouth does get the stop, and they'll get the ball back down by 17 points. And they're showing some pressure here to come after the punt.
I don't understand the reset. They never stopped it for a review that we know of.
This is a very short punt. Dartmouth will get the ball on the plus side of midfield. 4:34 to go. It's just about a 19-yard punt, and Dartmouth gets the ball back. Yale's going to punt here to start the 4th quarter, up 30-16. This is with the wind for Seamus Florio. Sean Williams back to return. Nearly blocked, but it's a good punt from Florio. Takes a Yale bounce, and Dartmouth will be backed up inside its own 10-yard line. Really well done from Seamus Florio, the senior from Andover, Mass.
Almost disaster. They had somebody come clean right up the middle. But it was a great kick.
I know it's only the 4th game of the year, Coach, and 2nd Ivy League contest for both these teams, but there's no doubt, and we've said it a bunch today, when we get to the end of the season around Thanksgiving, today's result is going to have major implications on who wins the Ivy League championship.
It just, puts it into the tight race. I mean, without a doubt. And it'll be big games week after week after week.
Saunier off the fake. Little pop pass for Jackson, and he's brought down immediately. Second big play that Zach Holland has made in this football game. Loss of 2.
The Yale defense can virtually put this game away with a great series right here. Make them punt from the end zone into the wind. You're going to have field position inside the 50. It's a big series for them.
Q Jones. A little bit of breathing room, but it will be 3rd and long. Dartmouth as a team today has only gained 240 yards on 49 plays. That's less than 5 yards per play. Nobody has more than 3 catches. Scott leads them 3 for 42. 3rd down and 8. Remember, Dartmouth's playing into the wind now, so punting from here would be challenging. They already snapped one out of the end zone today, trying to punt from this area of the field. Play clock down to 1. They get it off. Saunier under pressure, and it's incomplete. Abu Kamara knocked it away from Paxton Scott, and Dartmouth has to punt.
That's a great defensive series for Yale. Sets up what should be great field position. And trying to snap the ball into the end zone again, so who knows what's going to happen.
Andy Bellis, the long snapper, sent one over Davis Golick's head earlier for a safety. Obviously needs to avoid doing that here. Pantelis is standing right on the 50-yard line. Good snap. Punt away. It's a very short one. And Yale's field position will be outstanding. The 28-yard line is where the Bulldogs get to start this drive.
And again, the gaffes in the special teams have really hurt Dartmouth. And it's been kind of a theme throughout the game here. The bad snaps, now a bad kick, missing the field goal. Yale has had one short punt over the course of the game. Everything else with their kick game has been pretty clean.
That was a 21-yard punt, and now Yale takes over with great field position and potentially a chance to put the game away. Jordan's thrown for 315 yards today. He's also run for 44. Jordan out of the pocket. Buying time. He'll take off and step out of bounds. He's made a lot of good decisions with his legs, whether that's to create time to throw, gain a couple yards, or even just allow himself the chance to throw the ball out of bounds instead of taking a sack.
Yeah, his ability to break contain and extend the play has been time after time after time in this game. And he's made most of those plays positive plays. You throw it incomplete, you're 2nd 10. You gain 3 yards. You got something out of it. Clock's still running. A lot of good things happen.
Keeps this one and gets across the 20. It's a 1st down just inside the 19. One thing Tony Reno talked about with us this week is, yes, I know Grant Jordan hasn't played much at all in his career, but he's still a senior. So it's not like you're starting a first-year player or a sophomore who doesn't have the football maturity that Grant Jordan does.
And he's a 5th-year senior. This is a kid that has just stayed with the program for a long time. That just shows a lot of maturity, a lot of mental toughness, and he has shown it so far in his first 2 weeks.
Good throw to the outside is complete. Another good gain for Yale. That is Luke Foster, who caught the game-winning touchdown last week. Senior tight end with his 2nd career catch. And Yale just continues to pick up chunks and move the football here.
And run the clock, which is what they want to do. Just don't want to give up Dartmouth enough opportunities, enough time to make a comeback.
Pitzenberger right into the line. Not much doing there. 3rd and short coming up. Now remember, Dartmouth last week against Penn was up by 3 points and went on a drive of 21 plays, 10 minutes, 30 seconds, and they didn't score, but they only allowed Penn 11 seconds to get the ball back and try and go down the field. Obviously, they didn't do it. Yale trying to do something half similar. Jordan caught. Pantelis Touchdown! A hat trick for Dave Pantelis.
That was an absolutely great throw. Great throw and catch, great route. That's a long ball to throw into the corner of the end zone.
7th catch for Pantelis today. 3rd for a touchdown. And Grant Jordan now has 5 total TDs in this game. What a performance from the senior quarterback. They're waiting to get this confirmed from upstairs. And I think they're going to review
Previous
it.
plays under further review.
He did come down on his back, so you just don't know if anything came down in bounds. But that ball was perfectly thrown.
There have been a lot of great quarterbacks here at Yale. Obviously, the guy who was behind center the last couple of years was the Ivy League Player of the Year 2 years in a row. As we try and see whether or not Pantelis is inbounds and whether there's indisputable evidence to overturn it. It's so hard. He just bounces so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, what hit first here? I mean,
They're going to have to slow this down as much as they can upstairs for the officials, but
I think he's in.
if his left knee is in bounds, I should say if his left knee is down first, I think he's in. If his right elbow is down first, or his left elbow, he might be out. But I don't see how you can overturn this. But anyway, Coach, Nolan Groom's right. Kurt Rawlings before that. All the great quarterbacks that you coached, people around here that have created this rich tradition at this position for this program. I think any of them would have loved to have the day Grant Jordan has had today.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
He's thrown for 332, and he has 5 touchdowns against a team that was giving up 14 points a game coming into today.
I think what really stands out about it is who is it against? I mean, a lot of guys have big games, and I've had plenty of quarterbacks had great games against great teams, but boy, it is really great when you do it against the teams that everybody thinks are the top in the league.
Nick Conforti, perfect today, perfect on the season on the extra points, and Yale is up 3 touchdowns. Grant Jordan and David Pantelis, the stars.
Dartmouth's been without the quarterback, and that's a huge factor. But Yale has stopped the Dartmouth run game, and basically from the beginning of the game. And I think Dartmouth came into this game based on that performance last week against Penn as a team that was going to control the football, possess the football, run it really well, keep the ball away from you. None of that has happened. And Yale has had the ball more. They've made more big plays and been on offense for a good portion of the game.
Grayson Saunier has played really the last 3 quarters at quarterback, and he's done a pretty good job for Dartmouth. A late kind of heave from Inumadan Ayo Doroja on the catch by Corbo, but a couple yards on first down for Dartmouth. The way this year started, Yale got a great win at Holy Cross. Followed it up with a tough game at Cornell and lost. First down carry here, and out of bounds is Desmond Jackson. First down to move the chains for Dartmouth. But after that game, people might have been saying, okay, maybe Yale is not the favorite in the Ivy League this year, the 2-time defending champs. After a win last week against a good Central team and what they've done to Dartmouth so far today, it's certainly a statement back in the other direction of what Yale is capable of this year.
Again, it's just going to be a great race. And the 4 teams at 1-1, 2 teams at 1-0 that have got to get to 1-0, either see if we get anybody to 2-0. And, I think the top teams in the league, I think Harvard took a really tough loss in their opener. Don't think that they're not going to be there at the end of the year. They will be. this is a very tough loss for Dartmouth, and they'll be there if they get their quarterback back. This team is good enough. They have just had one of those days so far. I know it's not over, but I just think they'll contend. They will play, and they'll beat good football teams. So it's going to be an interesting race all the way.
First down run there from Saunier as Dartmouth has picked up a couple first downs on this drive. Jackson right into the line. Micaiah Shaber hit him first for Yale, and not much doing for Jackson there. People always say this about the Ivy League, and it's true. One of the reasons the football is so great is that pretty much every team, if you go out and play really well, you can win. And if you don't play your best, you'll probably lose. Saunier to throw. Over the middle, has a man. It's Paxton Scott. And Dean Schaefer got him by the shoestrings, but not before another Dartmouth first down.
And they're putting together a very good drive here. I kind of like the quarterback as the game is going on. He's shown much more composure. They just were so out of sync for well into the second quarter in this game before they got anything at all going.
Jackson steps to the 25. 5 yards on that play. Flag is thrown late, and we'll see what we have.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 24. 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
So that's on Io DeRojaye. And it'll move Dartmouth all the way inside the Yale 15-yard line. It'll be at the 12. Saunier's thrown for 197 in this game on 13 of 21 completions. Saunier to throw. Flag down immediately. Steps up and completes it for a short gain. Each team has been called for 6 penalties in this game.
Defense number 41. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And now 7 against Yale.
I was going to say that Yale, they had some penalty problems last week, and it seemed to settle down from that. But now they've had 2 in the last 3 plays, so they're just kind of helping Dartmouth along here.
So now first down from the 7. Pressure comes. Saunier with the fade. It's incomplete. Osise Danian broke it up. Well defended by the sophomore. So second down here for the Big Green. Trailing by 3 touchdowns. Pressure comes. Saunier throws, and it's behind Jackson Gerard. Certainly had him open there.
Yeah, he missed on that one. Yale came at him with a big blitz. Definitely had inside leverage with the receiver. Just threw it behind him.
11th play of this drive coming. It's gone 68 yards so far. And you'd have to go for it on 4th down if you end up in that spot. Saunier throws to the end zone. It's incomplete. Looked like Scott was out of bounds anyway. And now it's really 4th down for the game for Dartmouth. Any chance of coming back comes down to a touchdown on this play. Desmond Jackson, the running back. They can get to the 2-yard line here. They're on the 7 at the moment. Throw to the end zone. It is caught for a Dartmouth touchdown. Paxton Scott And Dartmouth keeps their hopes alive. Second touchdown of the season and 10th of Paxton Scott's career. Good throw in traffic there from Saunier.
Good slant throw. I mean, that's the ball he just missed. Go throwing the other way when he threw it behind. It was a good slant route. He was open again. And that one, he put it on him.
Owen Zalk on for the extra point. First team all Ivy League kicker. And this execution is good for Dartmouth. And it's back to a 2-touchdown game. 7:30 to play. Saunier to Scott. Coach, the likelihood at the moment is that at the end of this day, we'll have 4 1-1 teams in the Ancient Eight. Onside kick here. It gets a good Dartmouth bounce, and they recover. Dartmouth caught Yale off guard, and the tight end, Chris Corbo, caught it clean.
That took a tremendous Dartmouth bounce. Yale was up for the onside kick. They brought them all up, but that was perfect. We've talked about all the mistakes that Dartmouth has had in the kick game. This one didn't involve a snap, so it went well.
Look, they actually had 2 kickers out there, and everybody thought it was going left, and it went right, and there were not enough blue jerseys over there. And not only did that take a good bounce for Dartmouth to recover it, it bounced so far forward that they're getting the ball inside the Yale 45-yard line. This game is not over by a long shot. And a flag before we can do anything on this drive.
False start. Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Nick Marinaro, the center. Second-year starter for Dartmouth up front. They have a good line of him, Delvey Lemieux, Vashawn Washington, the left tackle and left guard, Tristan Holmbeck's the right guard, and Konstantin Sperk is the right tackle. Haven't created enough lanes in the running game today, though. Saunier to the outside, and a short completion for a short gain to Alex Geraci. Backup tight end makes his second grab of the year.
Yale has been really unable to put pressure on him.
Saunier with a clean pocket again. Rolls out of it, throws, and it's caught. First and goal as Paxton Scott makes another big play. He had been quiet for the most part today. Finally, a big play on the last drive on the touchdown, and this is his longest catch of the game. First and goal for the Big Green. They can make this a touchdown differential. Saunier to throw. Looking end zone. Nobody there for it.
Pass intended for 7. Stop.
What did we say about Ivy League games being decided by one possession? More than half each of the last 2 years. Second and goal. Running back is Q Jones. He's been held in check today. Saunier. It is caught, and it's another Dartmouth touchdown.
I mean, that's
Daniel Houghton.
Just a matter of putting it on him. I mean, Yale came all-out pressure. We've seen that route 3 times in the last 5 plays, and he's hit 2 of them. 2 of them for touchdown. First one he missed, and we are in a ball game.
First touchdown of the year for Daniel Houghton. First of his career, junior out of Matthews, North Carolina. Zalka on for the extra point. And somewhat shockingly, this is a 7-point game with 6:34 to go. And Dartmouth has all 3 timeouts. This game was 30-7. And now it's 37-30. And I don't know if, well, we don't know. We spoke with Dartmouth communications people and everyone we could. There was no reason given for why Jackson Proctor is not playing in this game other than coach's decision. We see him dressed in a baseball hat on the sideline. But regardless of Proctor's status, Dartmouth has found something in Grayson Saunier.
And Saunier is, especially given the fact that it was a quarter and a half of the second quarter before we really saw him at all. And what he has done, and then, early on, he didn't do much in the beginning. Of course, he didn't ask him to do much. But the more they've asked him to do, he's been in the pocket on these last, say, 6 throws. Not a lot of pressure. And then when they come with the heavy pressure, he's thrown the slant balls and got 2 touchdowns out of it.
That's an impressive kick into the wind from Matisse Weaver. And Yale will take over at the 25. If you're just joining us, Yale got off to a huge lead in this game, 30-7. But Dartmouth has clawed its way back. And in this fourth quarter, scored a touchdown, recovered an onside kick, scored another touchdown. And now there's plenty of time left. 6:34 and 3 timeouts. Another look at this onside kick that set up the touchdown drive as Grayson Saunier found Daniel Houghton. And that's the 3rd passing touchdown of the game for Saunier. Pitsenberger on the first down carry gets to the 30. That's 5 yards. 2nd and 5 for Yale.
That's a good first down run. Not showing any panic. They have not had a lot of success running the ball inside without good solid 5-yard gain on first down. Both teams have 3 timeouts. I mean, there's a ton of time left in this game.
Yale will take all of the play clock before this second down snap. Grant Jordan's thrown for 332 today and 4 touchdowns. He's also run for 1. Pitsenberger has a first down. Back-to-back very productive runs for the junior back.
Yale would like to turn the tables on Dartmouth and do to them what Dartmouth did to Penn last week.
Well, they won't have to do it for 10 minutes, but they'll have to do it for 6 or so.
They'd like to run the clock until there isn't any time left.
And when does Sammy McCorkle start thinking about taking his timeouts? They'll throw here, and it's almost intercepted. That throw to Nenad was dangerous as Jordan Washington, who has a special teams touchdown this year, totally jumped it. And if he picks that off, Coach, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, he took a chance, and, rightfully so. Yale's thrown a lot of those. You're still down in the game. You got to make a big play. He almost made the biggest play of the game.
They'll throw on second down to Pitsenberger, his 4th catch of this game. And he gets a couple. It'll be 3rd and medium with under 5 minutes to play. I don't think 10 minutes ago, in terms of game time, Yale thought it was going to be in this spot. But right now, it's a massive 3rd down play coming. They're 5 for 13 today on 3rd down. Pantelis has been the go-to guy for Jordan. 7 catches for 111 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Dartmouth's playing it straight up. They're 2 over 2 to the top of the field.
Jordan to throw. Takes his shot. Wide open is the first-year Jackson Santiago. That was a bust in coverage for Dartmouth.
Well, they played it 2 over 2, so the corner just dropped. They just had no thought that they were going to make that wide outside throw. I mean, they've been 3 over 2 almost the whole game. To be 2 over over 2 like that really surprises me. But that was definitely the right play call, and they got the right play at the right time.
On 3rd and 5, that is obviously too much room to give a receiver. So Yale now on the plus side of midfield at the 34. Pitzenberger up the middle. 2nd down coming. And Sammy McCorkle's going to start using his timeouts.
Timeout. Dartmouth. First timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
We'll take a break. 3:36 to go. A 43-yard field goal for Nick Conforti. His career long is 40 yards. So if you don't get the first down here, you're at least thinking about a field goal. We'll see what would happen, but either way, it sort of feels like this down is make or break for Dartmouth, because if Yale gets the first down, timeouts and the clock become an issue, and Yale already being in field goal range becomes an issue.
Well, if they get the first down here, it takes all the decision making out of it. You know, if they don't get the first down here, are you going to run 2 run plays in a row and try to get the first down, or are you going to attempt the field goal? Because you're talking 3 minutes and change with the 2-minute timeout. That's plenty of time.
On 3rd and 2, Grant Jordan is swallowed up in the backfield, and he lost yards. And now it is a big decision for Yale.
And the worst case scenario just happened. They lost yardage.
Quarterback, 9, Jordan.
Sammy McCorkle takes his last timeout. The 2-minute timeout still remains. It would be a 47-yard field goal for Nick Conforti from here. It's too close to punt, right? But do you
Timeout,
go
Dartmouth.
for it?
3rd and final timeout.
Or
30-second timeout.
try the field goal is probably the question. Both these head coaches, great respect for one another. They go back a long ways. Both young assistants that were recruiting the state of Florida a couple decades ago, got to know each other. Both really, really speak highly of the other. But right now, the chess game is, what do you do here if you're Tony Reno? And it looks like the field goal is the choice. The ball's spotted at the 29-yard line. So this would be a career long for Nick Conforti. 46 yards to make this a 10-point game. Florio the holder. Conforti's kick is no good, and Dartmouth gets the ball with 3:20 left and a chance to tie. It was plenty long enough, but
yeah, plenty of leg, plenty of wind to help them.
so now,
You know, Tony Reno's saying, why didn't we run Pitzenberger?
yeah, you can never win, right?
You can't win that battle.
Hindsight is always 20/20, as they say.
Run, and it just the worst case scenario, losing yardage.
So Saunier back out there. Empty set. Quick throw to start the drive, and Desmond Jackson has a couple yards on first down. No timeouts for Dartmouth, but the 2-minute timeout still looms. This game was over and done with about an hour ago. Anything but now. Saunier to his right has a completion and a first down. And boy, for a kid who had never thrown a pass before today, he looks pretty darn comfortable.
He looks really comfortable in the pocket, which really surprises me for a guy that was touted as a running quarterback.
Throws deep, and it's incomplete. Richards Baker was wide open, and Saunier just barely missed him.
That was a touchdown. That was a blown coverage, and that was a touchdown. He missed him.
Wow. Again, this game was 30-7 in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 from the 42. Saulnier's thrown for 255 and 3 touchdowns. Saulnier, nobody's open. He's just going to scramble for a yard or two and stop the clock with 2:31 left. And a player is down in the backfield for Yale. You never know how important it is one way or the other, but it seems like since Tamatoa McDonough was disqualified with that targeting penalty, Dartmouth has had clean pockets on every play for Saulnier to throw from.
The only time they haven't is when they've been in the all-out blitz and Yale has them outnumbered, and then you're just throwing slant balls, whatever, just get it off. Anything that's been a standard pass play, he has pretty much been untouched in the pocket.
In this second half, Dartmouth has roared back and made this a one possession. Grayson Saulnier to the outside. It's incomplete, and a flag flies. Abu Kamara might have gotten there a split second early on the tight end, Chris Corbo.
It's a tough one. I mean, a little bit of a thrown up for grabs. Both guys going to try to catch the football.
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's the 9th penalty of the game against Yale. It's a little early, but
he
emphasis on a little.
I would say he wasn't playing the ball. He was playing the player.
Fair enough.
So if he had gone for the ball, he had as much right to the ball as a receiver, but he went for more with the collision of the receiver.
Dartmouth now on the plus side of midfield. Saulnier, clean pocket, taking his shot. It's overthrown. He was trying to hit Daniel Houghton, and there's a flag in the backfield. It's right where Saulnier threw the ball.
Flag on the play.
Holding. 63 offense. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That's a big play to push Dartmouth back.
Again, he just keeps standing in the pocket and winging it.
It's Kyle Brown at the center.
Not afraid.
So now 1st and 20. Neither quarterback's thrown a pick today. Pretty clean game from those guys. Looked like Dartmouth jumped there, and they did. One of the receivers took off early. Obviously, Saulnier took a shot after the whistle, but...
Before the snap. Timeout. Yale.
Oh, wow.
30-second timeout.
So it's a timeout taken by Tony Reno, his first of the half. I thought that was going to be a false start, and then there might have been a late hit.
I would say way more of a late hit if he actually blew the whistle. They're giving him the timeout before the ball was snapped. There should have been no contact in the quarterback.
It was certainly a bit of a late whistle, but that's an interesting turn of events. Could have backed Dartmouth up a little more. It could have moved Dartmouth 15 yards forward. And instead, they'll just stick at the 47-yard line. Trailing by 7. No timeouts, but still the 2-minute timeout. The most important thing is probably that it's 1st and 20.
Exactly. You know, you got 4 downs. It doesn't matter. You're going to run 4 plays.
On 1st down, Saulnier runs right up the gut, gets a lot of the yards back. 11 yards, so that's all the penalty yardage, and one more for good measure, and that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. Another drama-filled game in the Ivy League. Dartmouth with the ball, down by 7.
He escaped. It's really one of the first. I mean, he didn't have anybody to go to, but it's one of the very few times under these regular pass rush circumstances that Yale has put some pressure on him and made him move and get out of there.
Saulnier's thrown for 265 and run for 52. 4 total touchdowns today. Empty backfield. They need 10 yards on 2 plays. Again, buying time, throws it to the sideline, and it's caught. It's short of a first down. No, they're going to give him a first down. Houghton with a crazy one-handed catch. I don't know if that's a first down or not, but that is a
under further review.
Tremendous catch,
Wow.
and they will go back and look at it.
Yeah. Now, are they looking at the catch or are they looking at the spot?
Well, fortunately, we can look at all of it.
Yeah, that's true. It certainly looks, on first glance, it looks short.
Let's start with, is it a catch? I think so.
Know.
He certainly controlled it, so there's no question of juggling the ball. There's a question of inbounds, out of bounds, and then the spot.
It's all about forward progress. You know, where are they actually saying?
Right. Does forward progress stop the second he has control of the ball? Because if so, then maybe it's a first down. But if you kind of play out the whole process, he certainly ended up a couple yards short of the first down. And by the way, not only was that a great catch, it looked like he was being held a little bit too.
Yeah, no doubt. I was going to say that. I was afraid we're going to see a interference call.
Well, if you're a Yale fan, luckily that cannot be reviewed. This is starting to feel like one of those old college football games before they started letting the clock run on first downs. This has turned into a marathon. It was 30-7 Yale in the third quarter. Either way, Dartmouth will have at least one more play because that was third down. Question is it first down now? Is it fourth and short? Or is it fourth and long? And another factor is that if you go out of bounds while going backwards, the clock should not stop.
But it's a first down. If it's a first down, you get the stoppage and then the restart. Yeah, there's a lot of things involved here.
After rule, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Wow. Not only does it stand, it's confirmed. And Dartmouth has first down at the Yale 32-yard line. And I'm sure everyone at home is playing the game of, if Dartmouth scores a touchdown, do you go for 2 or not? But the Big Green are still 32 yards from thinking about that. Empty backfield for Saulnier. Steps up and takes off. A lot of green grass, and Saulnier is gone! Touchdown, Dartmouth! From 23 points down, Dartmouth can tie or take the lead here.
And that was a design play. Dartmouth went empty. They moved to it. Yale emptied the secondary. That was just a quarterback draw for a touchdown.
A 32-yard touchdown run. And now Zalk to tie the game. Into the win, but he's an All-American kicker. And we are knotted at 37. Dartmouth has come back from down 30-7 in the third quarter. And now Yale has the ball with 2 timeouts and a tie game to try and escape this one. As you watch Jackson Saunier escape the 11 guys in blue and score the game-tying touchdown.
What a debut he has had. It's just pretty amazing. I mean, I gave them up for dead at the beginning of the fourth quarter, that's for sure. This has been some comeback. And I'll tell you what, it's been Dartmouth created. It has not been a lot of Yale errors. It has been really good football from Dartmouth, really good quarterback play, one really big special teams play that was really well executed, the onside kick. This has been quite a performance. But that's why they've shared the championship or won it over the last 10 years as many times as they have. They're that kind of football program.
Tony Reno has to be delivering the message to his team. Do we want to be in this spot right now? No, we don't feel like we should have been, but you're still a drive down the field for points away from winning the game, and you have the wind in your favor. It'll start at the 25-yard line, and Grayson Saunier, who has become an unlikely hero today, now has 5 touchdowns and no turnovers for Dartmouth. But his counterpart, Grant Jordan, in his second true career start, also has 5 touchdowns and no turnovers. All he needs right now is to get Yale into field goal position to win this game.
This is so opposite of the game we expected.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost unbelievable.
Pitzenberger in the backfield with Jordan. On first down, he's under pressure. Out of the pocket, over the middle, Felton's got it. First down across the 40, and Tony Reno will hold his timeouts. Clock will stop until the reset of the chains. You don't have to be in a major rush here if you're Yale.
Yeah, another great extension of the play by Jordan.
Jordan again, got another completion. Another Yale first down. That is Jackson Santiago. And Yale's moving the football quickly on this drive. On the Dartmouth 48.
They got 10 guys. Oh, here he comes.
Lane sprinting on the field, the defender for Dartmouth. Jordan buys more time, and he'll just run out of bounds close to the 40-yard line. Might I remind you, Coach, the score at the end of the first quarter was 2-0 in this game.
We've come a long way from there.
We should have known something weird would happen. What a
Dartmouth
crucial game.
Almost got scorched there. They only had 10 on the field, and the guy running on actually ended up covering the deep ball that would have been wide open if he didn't come back out on late.
Second down and 3. Jordan got 7 there. Handoff Pitzenberger right up the gut. It's another first down. Yale still has 2 timeouts here. And a Dartmouth player is down. Now, it's important to talk about Yale's kicking situation. Nick Conforti is in his first year as the starter. Made a 40-yarder against Holy Cross. Overall, he is 4 for 7 on field goals this year. Tried a 48-yarder just minutes ago that was long enough, but missed by quite a bit to the left. So what is your comfort level in terms of his range if you're Tony Reno? In a tie game, you kind of just try it from wherever you are. But how aggressive on these next couple plays will you be is the question.
Well, they're gonna play offense to score, but you're going to attempt the field goal if that's what it's going to come down to. I mean, they've got 2 timeouts left. So they've got plenty of time, and they're going to run a couple, 3, 4 plays. So, but right now, if it were whatever, you'd be kicking the field goal with the win. He had plenty of distance, and you got to put him out there, and he can win a game for him. But right now, you're running your offense to get. Obviously, you want to get closer. You want to. If you can get the touchdown, you get an opportunity to throw a deep ball, you're going to take it.
It would be 49 yards from here. Those were Conforti's numbers entering the day. Jordan to the outside has Pitzenberger, and he's dropped for no gain, and Tony Reno has to take
timeout.
His second timeout.
Second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
So the strategy question is not when or when wouldn't you kick a field goal. It's really, do you try and pick up 10 yards on this play, or do you run the ball, try and get it centered for your kicker or on whatever hash he wants it, run it down, take your timeout, and take your field goal, try and win the game?
I mean, I don't think you're at any kind of comfort level right now. You're not doing get the quarterback to move it a couple yards to the left or the right or whatever. You want to gain some more yardage. You want your kicker going out there feeling a little bit more confident that, hey, I can make this. Not going to be the longest kick of his life, which it is right now. But, yes, how much risk are you willing? You still have a timeout, so you can throw it anywhere. You can throw it in the middle of the field. You can throw it wherever you want. But I'd want 10 yards if I could get it.
Jordan's thrown for 386 today. Quick one to Pitzenberger. Gets across the 30, and he's to the 27-yard line. Yale has to use its last timeout here.
Third and final timeout. 30-second timeout.
And now it'll be a third down play coming. And if you're Tony Reno, do you feel like you have enough time to run something, or do you just kick the field goal now?
I mean, the problem is what they've actually for the last two plays. The play they ran was a running back slide that they wanted him to catch and get out of bounds, and he couldn't get out of bounds on either one of them. And so what do you feel comfortable with? Are you willing to throw a 5-yard stop out to Switz or out to Ship or Pantelis, and they just step out of bounds? Yeah, you get plenty of time to do that. And that looks like they're just going to go out and kick it.
Conforti is out there to try and win this game. Ball spotted at the 28. So it's a 45-yard field goal to try and win the game. Snap,
outside.
Spot, kick on its way. It is no good, but a player down for Dartmouth in the backfield. No matter. Coach, you thought somebody was offside, but there's no flag, and it looks like we're going to overtime.
It looked like they came off of both sides. Is that? I think he's going to be all right.
Player down was Jordan Washington. So Conforti misses a second long field goal left. And we're going to play overtime in a game that seemed like a runaway in the third quarter.
And you and I were talking earlier, talking about Dartmouth, should they go for two, not go for two, if they did score. This was before they scored. And, they have the advantage in the kicking, in the field goal department, no doubt, going into the overtime. They did. They came off of both sides. They're lucky somebody didn't get hurt badly.
They were either offside or that was the best jump on the snap you'll ever see. But no matter, as Saunier takes the knee, and we have free football. 37-37. Buckle up for the extra period.
Dartmouth just came roaring back, and big play after big play. I mean, obviously the onside kick was as big a play as there was in the game. But special teams, now 2 missed field goals, and we're in overtime.
Saunier to start things. Flag flies immediately. Saunier looking, got a man wide open. Sean Ward with his first ever catch at Dartmouth takes it to the 2, but let's see if it stands.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 in the backfield.
Wow.
5-yard penalty. Forced down.
Sigh of relief for everyone in the Yale Bowl supporting the home team.
Dartmouth has done, they've done all these shifts and movements and motions all game long. And now they pick this play to have a 5-man in the backfield call. That was a special design, kind of a gimmick play. They ran a wheel with the back out the back, came with a crosser, great design play, got taken away.
And they're moving even further back now.
Wow.
False start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now, the benefit you have if you're Dartmouth as compared to 90% of teams in the country right now, maybe even more than that, is you're still in field goal range for
Right.
Owen Zalk.
Especially with the win.
But 1st and 20 at the 35 is far from ideal.
Especially when they were going to be 1st and goal from the 2.
Hand off to Q Jones. A huge hole, and Q Jones has a first down, and it's 1st down and goal for Dartmouth. 1st and 20, no problem.
And this game has been pretty hard to believe. Some of the things that have happened. I mean, 1st and 20. He goes for an easy 25.
Q Jones almost doubled his rushing output for the day on that carry. 1st and goal at the 4. Another handoff. Jones untouched, but a flag flies. And I think Dartmouth will be called for holding. This is like how the game started.
Holding. Number 63 offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's the center again, who came in the game midway through, Kyle Brown. And Dartmouth has gone penalty, penalty, huge run penalty to start the first overtime.
And, he had a 25-yard gain that was absolutely wide open. He's walked in on that one. Of course, aided by a holding penalty, but what a change from what we've been watching.
So now it's 1st down and goal at the 14. It's Q Jones again. He stumbles and goes down. Lost a couple more yards. The turf monster got Jones here. Remember, McDonough and Yang are not in this game for Yale. Yang got hurt. McDonough got disqualified for a targeting penalty. That's 2 of your key defensive linemen if you're the Bulldogs. 2nd and 17, or 2nd and goal from the 17. Saunier flushed out of the pocket. Throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Paxton Scott went up for it. That ball hung up in the air for a while.
Dartmouth went empty again. And, the last time that was that quarterback draw.
Defense number 24.
Roughing the passer against Yale. Inumidun Ayodorojaye. And these teams are trading in fractions here in the first overtime. They have now combined for 21 penalties in this game.
Nobody wants to win. As I was saying, they went empty again, and that was the play down on the other end at the end of the game that he scored on the quarterback draw. Yale stayed too deep, just stayed straight across, and he had nowhere to go.
So now it's 1st and goal at the 8. Q Jones out of the pistol, up the middle to the 2-yard line.
I mean, for a team that hasn't been able to run the ball very well all game, they have really opened some seams here in overtime. That's the 3rd run play that's had a big gap in there.
And you'd have to think some of that is Yale being without two of the D linemen. Saunier in the pistol again. Nearly fumbled the snap, but he got it to Jones, who who gets to the goal line and scores. Near disaster turns to euphoria for Dartmouth. And it's the first lead of the game for the Big Green.
Well, they definitely found something. I mean, their best offensive lineman is Dobie Lemieux, and they ran every one of those run plays over him. So all of a sudden, they've found their spot.
A big left tackle paving the way for Dartmouth. And they will set up for the extra point here. Owen Zalk, perfect on extra points this year. And he remains so. So now it's Yale's turn. Down for the first time today. A 30-7 lead has turned into a 44-37 deficit. And Grant Jordan, who's thrown for 391 and 4 touchdowns today and also run one in himself, will try and keep this game alive. Not that this is important at the moment, but if Jordan throws for 9 yards on this drive, he will become just the 11th Yale quarterback ever to throw for 400 yards in a game. The record is 465 by Griffin O'Connor against Princeton in 2018. Most recently, Kurt Rawlings threw for 417 against Harvard in 2019, but nobody supporting the blue and white cares about that right now. They just need 25 yards to keep this game going. Pitzenberger is the running back, 3 receivers right. Pitzenberger now to the left of Grant Jordan. Jordan to throw. Nenad held onto it. Both teams are having a case of the juggles on the football right now.
A little bit of overtime nerves.
I'd say so. 5th catch of the day for Nenad. 3rd different Yale receiver with at least 5 catches in this game. 2nd down and 5. Jordan to throw again. Steps up. Jordan to the end zone. Incomplete. Through the hands of Pantelis.
Pantelis made a great move and got himself open. The D-back lost him a little bit. Just as Jordan overthrew it a little bit. On the run.
Now, the reason you pick to play defense in overtime is A, you know what you need to do, and B, you get 4 downs. So Yale has 2 more plays to get these 5 yards. Jordan rolling left. It's good block by Pitzenberger. Throw to the end zone. It's incomplete. And it's 4th down and 5 for the game. And if Dartmouth, this vaunted defense that got gashed for 3 quarters, if this defense can get 1 more stop, it would be one of the more memorable wins in the regular season outside of a championship winning game in Dartmouth history.
Incredible comeback.
Sammy McCorkle doesn't like something he sees, so he sprints down and
Dartmouth. 30-second
takes
timeout.
a timeout.
I would take the timeout just to give the kids a blow. I mean, we're working close to 4 hours here on this game. And these kids have been on the field playing a lot of defense, and they played a lot of defense early. So, that he's talking to them right now about we got to have all out 1 more play with everything on the line. And they got to get back on the line of scrimmage and go.
One of the wilder games you'll ever see comes down to this play. From 23 points down, Dartmouth is 1 stop away from a win and staying undefeated, both overall and in the league.
Dartmouth right now looks like they're going to come three-man rush.
Jordan to throw quickly. Pantelis got it. First down, Yale. Right at the marker. 8th catch of the game for Pantelis. And Jordan is over 400 yards. Eight catches for 117 and 3 touchdowns for Pantelis. Dartmouth a little late lining up defensively, but they look set now. Pitzenberger knifing through the middle, gets to the 10-yard line. Tell you what, that last throw, that is a gutsy throw from Jordan and a great catch
It
from
was a great
Pantelis.
throw and catch. And, Dartmouth made the decision to come with a three-man rush and play maximum protection. It was just a catch it, throw it, get it on time, and you got to make the catch.
Yale needs the 4-yard line for a first down. Jordan rolling to his right. Grant Jordan, nobody open, throws, touchdown! Chase Nenad! And an extra point would set up another overtime.
I mean, Jordan has made so many plays, breaking contain, extending the play. Look at him. He's directing traffic out there. Got receivers that have confidence that he's going to keep the play alive. They keep moving around. What a great play.
And now it's up to Nick Conforti, who has not missed an extra point this year, to try and tie this game. But Tony Reno has taken a timeout. And is there any thought to going for the win here, Coach?
I wouldn't think so after sending him out there, but nothing would surprise me in this game at this point.
Grant Jordan is 32 of 47 for 412 yards, 5 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. One of the great games you'll ever see played by a quarterback. But the guy on the other side has kind of matched him. And it is 44-43. And what does Yale do here? And they are going to go for the win. Tony Reno says, my offense has barely been stopped today. We need 3 yards to win this football game. I'm going for it. Grant Jordan in the shotgun with Pitzenberger. 2 receivers on the field, 1 on each side. This to win the game. Man in motion, Pantelis. Jordan throws. He overshot him. And Dartmouth wins 44-43.
They had the right play. Absolutely had the right play and just didn't execute it.
This football game was better than you ever could have imagined. Yale and Dartmouth have been playing for more than 100 years, and there have been some classics. Hard-pressed to think there have been many better than that. Just an incredible comeback from the Big Green, who win 44-43